The best music for hard-working people. Get the job done with Radio.
And now your feature presentation.
Hey there, rockers. Welcome to Bands. The Good, Bad, and the Ugly with Dr. Dog. On the show where we get real about the ups and downs of band life. Your host, Dr. Dog, is locked and loaded. So let's do this.
welcoming you to Bands, the good, bad, and the ugly, bringing you the ins and outs, ups and downs of band life. So let's get to it. Let's rock and roll.
The song you just heard was by Beck Black, which was Dirty Little Angel. What a song. Doctor's guest today is the one and only Beck Black. Beck, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing, Dr. Dog?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's such a pleasure to have you on my show. And since we're on, I'm doing even better. So, how's it going on your side? I know you're really busy. You're busy all the time, pretty much. So, what are you up to right now?
Uploading a new single to the digital distribution company I work with for my other band, Jinx, called I Keep the Lights On. It's the Shadow in the Mirror remix by Chuck Sawicki, who was Prince's engineer on the Batman album. So right now, currently getting all the information in there correct and the song files. Also working on a music video for my single that comes out after that, which is Airplane Mode. We are shooting a Man in the Moon scene with the co-writer, co-producer of the project, Darwin Meaners. Him and I came together to write and release Airplane Mode, and we are editing the video. We have a team with a digital loop artist out of Italy and an editor out of New Hampshire, and Darwin's in San Francisco. I'm currently on the East Coast, so we're all collaborating online and going from there. I'm directing it, so I just kind of had to figure out how to make the motion and everything like that. So currently doing that as well, Dr. Dog. And I'm heading to Savannah this weekend for a marvelous trip via Amtrak train.
That's great. Those are kind of nice to travel on because you just kind of relax and chill out. But you're really busy, Beck. I mean, geez. And you're doing a lot of this by yourself, right? On your end. I mean, I know you have other people you're collaborating with, but you're doing a lot of this on your own. And so that takes a lot of your time.
Also, what takes a lot of my time is to not step on anyone's toes and to be very ginger and gentle with the artistic process when you're working with artists. And the last thing I want to do is piss anyone off or get any information incorrect, especially when you're uploading songs for digital distribution, and also having to direct others to do what they need to do for editing and give notes and be on the ball, focused, be there when others need me to be there, which is also kind of, I would say, difficult sometimes because when people want answers, you got to be there. It's a 24/7 position I'm in as a creator and as a creative. So
I think you put in more than 24/7. So you do an awful lot. I mean, that's just incredible, the amount that you do. And I think so far that I know of, you're the only artist that, I mean, a lot of them do videos and movies and music, but you do a lot. I mean, that's incredible, the amount that you do. So, you know, I give you 100% credit and kudos and brownie buttons or whatever you want for it, because you do. That's phenomenal. I wanted to tell you too, you know, you have such an incredible voice, and it reminds me a lot of Deborah Harry with Blondie, and you know, you look a lot like her too. And well, actually, a little. You look like Deborah Harry and with some Marilyn Monroe mixed in there. And I think with your voice and your beautiful looks, that's a great combination for an artist. So I just want to compliment you on that because again, your voice is incredible. I mean, I've listened to your tracks, and each track I listen to, it surprises me more and more. So again, it's incredible voice. So anyway, let's get to the question time, Miss Beck. So you were talking just a minute ago about not stepping on people's toes and things like that. So what kind of relationship do you have with other indie artists, and how do you find the support? Is it there or not, or what?
First of all, thank you so much for saying I have a beautiful voice and a powerful voice. It's a lot to take in sometimes. It's good to hear instead of just saying, oh, thank you. Oh, yeah. And that's actually great. So just take that in for a moment, a compliment, you know.
Well, that's good.
Thanks. Yeah. My relationship with artists are thus: we're all creatives, we are all sensitive. I'm an empath. Sometimes sensitive artists aren't necessarily empathic. Trying to be on the same page, read between the lines, read around the circle of everyone together, bring everyone together, make sure everybody's happy. Just there's so many components to working with other artists, but no artist can really do it alone. I can say I do this and I do that, but I don't do everything. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to mix a song. I could sit here and teach myself how to do that with YouTube, but I would never have the time to write music. And I barely have time to write music now. I'm always working on administrative tasks and just trying to make the system better and then look out for other people who aren't even artists. And I am a lion heart, also an attorney brain. And I'm just like, what do we need to tackle next kind of thing? And until something's tackled and I figured it out, I can't move on to the next thing, and I'm just super laser focused. And that's how I get tasks done and work with artists, because it's just one thing at a time. Some artists like to have like all these different pots burning, and I get it, but that can burn the whole house down, the whole kitchen down if you have all these pots burning. So I try to saute here a little bit there, and just kind of mix my projects a little bit, because I'm a genreless artist and I have different music projects. I have Beck Black, the band, with Adam All on drums and Mo Madiquin on guitar. We perform live, which we're supposed to be going back to LA to do some more shows in November. Beck Black, the solo artist, which Darwin and I are going to release this next track just as a Beck Black track. I have the band Jinx with Kai Arons, and I have Beck Black, the country music, which is going to come out in 2024. That needs some videos too, with me on horseback for country stuff, kind of like the Ballad of Buster Scruggs, that opening scene of Cool, Calm Water. That scene, the intro scene, and the Coen brothers, I believe, Buster Scruggs, the Ballad of.
Yes.
I want to do something like that for one of my songs called Where the Trails Divide, because it's very 1940s country. I don't like modern country at all. I like old honky tonk, and I'm a blues artist first. So how do I deal with all these different artists? I even have a film company with Royce Richmond. We own Blue Sky Pictures. We've written a TV show that we're putting out there. There's just so many facets. I'm a film artist as well. I have a degree in film from the University of Wilmington out of North Carolina via Frank Capra Jr., whose dad did It's a Wonderful Life. So there's so many things. I started out as a screenwriter. I just finished another screenplay. And from now on, I'm just into writing a new album, whatever that's going to be. I say in my mind, I want to do dream pop, because I haven't really done that yet. But another part of me doesn't know what I want to do when I go in there, because the latest thing I've created sounds like rock opera. I don't know. I'm just going to let myself be. I'm a vessel. It's like the universe, songs, they just come through you energetically. And I have to be there to capture that, like a rainbow, just absorb the light prisms and the energy of it, and then work with other artists to accompany those dreams and make them happen, which is bringing together a mix with engineers and taking it to mastering, you know what I mean? And then creating a video concept. But I shot the last video I did by myself here for airplane mode. I don't know how to edit it. And again, it takes a village. I can't do everything by myself. I just can't.
Let me say, number one, you're like the Energizer bunny, the Energizer bunny that you just keep going and going and going. And I think you need maybe 2 or 3 more bands to work with and about 3 or 4 more projects. I mean, come on.
Oh my God.
You're overloading this. I can't believe all the stuff he just told me. I mean, I'm sitting here with like my mouth, you could see with my mouth, with my mask off, it'd be like hanging open because it's like unbelievable. Everything that you're involved in so many different facets of the industry and out of the industry. You know what I love what you said was, I look after and take care of people that aren't even artists or musicians. And do you know how rare that is? You know, everything you've said so far to me in this interview is so rare to hear that an artist to say. And, you know, that brings kind of faith back to me about how artists work with each other, because I've been in this business since the 70s. And you know, we've experienced that. It's usually always one against the other. But I've got to say, you know, you said a lion heart. You've got a huge heart. Okay. If that's a lion heart, then you've got a huge heart. And being an empath, my son's one. I'm one, but not as strong as he is. So I understand about the empath, about feelings, and that can be good and it can be bad. So, you know what I mean? But I just got to say, I'm amazed, and I think the listeners are going to be amazed at what you do. And the show is about that. It's about the inside look of what artists have to go through to get to A to Z. And you are like the shining example of that as far as everything you're doing to promote yourself and to get your music out. And I love the fact that your genres change. And I grew up on old country music. I mean, that's what my mom and dad listened to, and you know, Hank Williams and Dolly Parton and
That's Klein.
You know, Glenn Campbell and just all those and
Right.
You know, just great country. And so I get that too. And I think you'll look
Ernest Tubbs.
Yes. We watch, like I said, you know,
Johnny Cash, of course. I mean,
Johnny Cash and
Sons of the Pioneer,
like Lyle Wagner,
Dean Autry.
Yeah, see that. I mean, that's the era that you know, the music I grew up with.
Singing cowboys. That's what I really like.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and you bring a lot of that into your music, don't you?
Yeah, I think so.
I do. Listening to it, I think so too. I do. So now we're going to do a double play from Beck Black. First up is Gotta Get Back to My Baby. And the second one on the list is She's A-OK.
Living's a crime when you ain't got a dime. Gotta get back to my baby again, to my baby again, to my baby again, to my baby goes on, goes on, to my baby again, to my baby again, to my baby goes on, goes on. Why did you leave me? I
So Beck, we've already talked about, I don't even want to ask you this, but your upcoming projects, you've already told us. It's like, man, you've got so many. Is there anything that you want to bring out that's the most, and I know everything you do is important to you, but something that you want to put out there that you want to promote as far as, listen, this is something coming out new, and you've already talked about releases and videos and movies. Anything in your heart that you want to, that's special really to your heart, to say, hey, I really want to say, listen to this, watch this, go find this.
Look out for Airplane Mode, releasing in November, methinks.
Listen to that, Airplane Mode in November.
The video is going to be different. My inspiration was Aha, Take On Me, which is part digital, part comic-esque.
That's when you get sucked into the mirror. Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
No.
But it's the lines, it's the comic book lines. And I shot this here. I played two different characters, a diva, plane passenger, and an air flight attendant. And the song's called Airplane Mode. I wrote it on an airplane. We are elevating to 30,000 feet. Please place your cell phones on airplane mode.
That's great.
And we have a digital loop going on in the airplane window. We had to create it where it looks like we're on an airplane. And I was like, well, I've got this background here. I do this for my acting auditions whenever we can do auditions, since the writers and the actors are on strike. Right now, it's just commercial auditions, which, you know, you gotta do something.
Yes.
Come on.
Yes.
You know?
Definitely.
I can't just live here and expect for pennies to fall out sky, you know? So
that's true. That's very true. I mean, and you definitely aren't lacking doing things. So, you know.
I really just want to read a book. You know, it's like I've got all these cool books, like self-help books, like how to retell your story. I'm like, ooh, that sounds good. Let me learn that. I could do some self-help book, and scientific books about geography, oceanography, and everything like that. I just got back from the Outer Banks. I do a weekly radio show at WOVV 90.1 FM, the Village Voice of Ocracoke Island. I have Beck Black's Beach Shack, and I just did a live radio broadcast last week from the island, and it was fantastic.
That's
had to learn a lot of little buttons, but when I'm not doing it live at the station, I'm also recording it here. I have a beach shack. I can't show you the beach shack right now. It's mysterious, but you should check it out. Every week is a different genre, and I love the art of the 30-minute show.
Yes. No, I definitely will check it out. I definitely will. Magpie's had me working so much that I haven't had a chance to check out shows, but I've been listening to a lot of music, and especially your music. So
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. And again, you know, I don't know, the more you talk, the more it's like you just kind of blow my mind. You're going to see my hat go off my head here, because you're just doing so much. I mean, it's just, I just can't comprehend how much that you do. And you do. You say, you know, you work with a lot of people and it takes collaboration and other people in a village. You're 100% right. But you know what? You've taken on 3/4 of the village. So that's like I said, and usually it's the other way around with artists. They're taking on 1/4 of the village and having somebody else or other people take on the rest of it. And, you know, you doing it all yourself just tells me, and it should tell the listeners out there about Beck, is that you take everything so to heart, and you want to make sure everything is so perfect that you handle everything by yourself, because that's the only way you're going to know that it's been done right. Am I correct?
Yes, I do have an assistant named Cece that does help me some things, but I have to be there to make sure everything's done right. If I'm not, then something will not be correct. And I have to oversee everything and supervise it. But Cece does help me send out radio promotional emails, which, you know, take time to send out to 500 people a day or something sometimes. There's only so many radio stations that will let you solicit your music. I wish there was a better way for me to submit to labels and booking agents and such. I'm also looking for right now someone to help me license my music, which would be great. I do have a licensing company that I work with, but they only have a partial of my catalog. So I really want to find someone else. I think sometimes you should have two. Some deals are exclusive, but it's exclusive per song, not per artist. So I really want to find another licensing agent. So if you're out there and you're listening right now, then you can contact me through my website, which is beckblack.com.
Do you hear that, licensing agents? You better give her a jingle or an email or a text or whatever, because she would be somebody you definitely want to work with and take care of, because she'll take care of you. That's a guarantee.
Thank you. That's right. And booking agents, let's talk. I would love to do a world tour.
Oh my gosh.
I would love to
me?
support other artists in festivals. It'd be great.
Oh, I mean, so what? You have like 30 minutes left in a day, so you want to do a worldwide tour and music festival too?
I got to get it out there to everybody else, Can't just play Los Angeles my entire life.
No, but
I need a tour. I really need a tour. I need to do Europe. I need to do Japan, and I need to do New York City, like some East Coast tour dates, and then do some Midwest dates. But yeah, I need to do more than just the West Coast and Texas. I've done like Music Saved Lives a couple of times, and Austin, Texas, the South by Southwest. I need to get the music out there. I need to be performing and getting on the stage and jumping off. I mean, I need to be doing stuff,
That's great.
I can't just be here all the time in the beach shack as
right.
well.
I got to check out that beach shack. I want to come see that beach shack.
From what I understand, this is supposed to be an interview about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So we've been talking about the good.
Yeah, because we've been talking about you. So how much good can it be? I mean, come on, that's the best. Well, we're getting ready to get into the other one. So the other parts
let me
of
have
it.
a cigarette.
So tell us about a time where you faced music rejection, criticism about your music, your genres, what you put out there. And did it change anything? Did it change anything that you were doing? Any path that you were taking? Did it split you off and take you into a different area? Or tell us about that.
What, some sort of criticism?
Yeah, if you've had music rejection, right?
You think I give a shit what anybody says?
I would hope not, but that's everybody's different, and I look at it as it's the best we can put out. It's the best I can do today. Tomorrow may be better, but if you don't like it, that's good. If you don't, you can fuck off. So, it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to ask you that. I mean, every musician that I know of has faced some type of criticism and rejection, and whether they take it to heart and it affects them, that's one thing. Some do, some don't. So some like you with that attitude. It's like, fuck, I don't care. I don't give a shit.
I've gotten rejected my entire life.
I don't see how, but I really don't. See, but you told me you finally have gotten onto an FM station, correct?
I'm a DJ for an FM show.
But I was talking about your music, because you were talking about how hard it is to get your music on other FM stations.
I said Sirius XM. This was a side note, everybody. This was a private conversation I had with Dr. Dog. Sirius XM. There's only one indie station, the Underground Garage, which plays me constantly different radio DJs on that station, Channel 21, Sirius XM, Little Steven Van Zant's.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, I haven't been played on any other Sirius XM channel. I mean, submitted, of course. But there's only like Hot 100 hits and like 1980s and outlaw country and stuff like that. I have not reached to those chasms yet of Sirius XM, and that seems difficult. I play on FM radio all the time.
Well,
and of course, web radio, like here, but Sirius XM, different ball game.
Right. And you did say that. So, and again, I'm amazed of why you can't reach those plateaus with your music and your talent and what you do. It to me is, that's an injustice. But
yeah, I mean, Richard Blade, he does like Breakfast with the Beatles, like a Beatles something another. And I have a song with a Beatle with Ringo Starr, who's going to say rock and roll, that we're going to play here in a little bit. And I mean, we've submitted to the Beatles stuff, you know, it's like, come on, play other artists that have, you know, performed with the Beatles. Ringo played drums on a track that Bruce Sugar and I co-wrote called Who's Gonna Say Rock and Roll, and co-produced.
Yeah, that's what we're going to play that one too. So that's going to be great. That's going to be great.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that, like, SiriusXM, please, if you're listening right now, like, give me a chance, or make, if an executive is listening right now, create some more indie stations on SiriusXM for us indie artists. You know?
Yes. No, I agree 100%. And if you guys are out there listening, I mean, you're missing a talent that, and you're actually depriving the world of a talent that's phenomenal, which is Beck, and you know, there's great artists out there.
Thank you very much.
but you stand out. You really do with your voice. You completely stand out. So speaking of that, we're going to go into Beck Black's song "Life's a Circus." That's off Beck's LP Hollywood Boulevard.
Cheers.
Some people live in a tortoise shell. Some people live on the streets that they dwell. Some people live and dwell in the clouds. Communication, and they're screaming out loud. Life is a circus, stand up for applause. It is at the end. Come down off the cherries, let your mind at ease. Let down your head. Call the police, 'cause the clowns are in town. Man in the moon, he ain't messing around. Nothing matters, doesn't matter at all. Words are like walls, they tumble and fall. Life is a circus, stand up for applause. It is at the end. Come down off the cherries, let your mind at ease. Let down your head. It might be a nuisance, you might have a noose above your head. Life is a circus, stand up for applause. It is at the end. Lions on the run, elephants in the sun. Rooftop circus, trapeze dance, tightrope and eyelashes. Life is a circus, stand up for applause. This is the end.
Beck, that was a great track too, dude. I
Thanks.
love, like I said, I love your music. So I'm not going to say anymore because I just keep repeating myself. So, what's the most brutal aspect of being in a band that's locked into the indie cage?
What is the most brutal aspect about being in a band that's locked in an indie cave?
Mm-hmm.
I would say getting everyone on the same cave platform. Yeah. It's like, yo, you want to meet up in the cave so we can rehearse? Cool. How are we going to make that happen? All right, everybody's schedule. What are we going to do? I'm trying to book a show right now. I want to know the guarantee, got to take care of the band too. You know what I mean? Got to
Yes.
take care of me,
Yes.
It's like, how are we going to pay for all this stuff? There's music videos and everything like that. Like everything I have to figure out, all the logistics. I have to do the paperwork, the work for hire agreements, everything. I have to be the attorney brain with the lion heart. So that would be the hardest part of being in the indie cave, is how to do everything with a caveman budget.
Does it frustrate you to be locked or put into that cave and have to fight your way out of it?
Yeah, I feel like I'm stuck in the cave. It's like, when will I ever get out? It's like nobody gives a shit about paying $10 to see an indie band. You don't know how many people have the balls and the gall to ask me, can I be on the list? And I get people have done me favors and stuff, and that's great, be on the list, but not for eternity. And, people would rather spend money at Starbucks than buy your album as well.
Yes.
I don't know many people that have gone on Amazon or whatever with my digital distributor to go and buy it on Apple. They just stream it all on Spotify, and I make 10 cents I make negative 10 cents per stream. So if you stream it 100 times, I might make $1. 10 cents. You know what I mean? It's just that's how it works. You make 1/10 of a penny basically for every stream. And I'm having to face my own challenges right now, which is really heartbreaking, that my entire album, Hollywood Boulevard, is not even available on Spotify, because Spotify said you can't create a playlist of your music and play it a whole bunch, and Spotify took my album off of distribution. They contacted my distributor, and right now Spotify has to make a decision whether to let me keep my album Hollywood Boulevard, which has been on Spotify and on the digital platform for 2 years now, released September the 17th, 2021. I am beside myself about it. I've fought it. I've written a formal PDF. And if for some reason they decide they still do not want to return my album, and indie artists, they're policing indie artists, by the way, I will appeal it.
You know what, Spotify, fuck you. And you know what, if you want to do that, the dog is going to start spreading to have the listeners not use your music streaming platform. There's other platforms out there to use. And so, you need to take care of these artists. You need to take care of the ones that you're playing, because without them, you don't have anything to play.
So many companies, they have robots they hire to do this, to generate numbers for artists, because every record label now, every booking agent are all looking at numbers. They're looking at your TikTok numbers. They're looking at your Spotify streams. And my assistant, Cece, decided to create a playlist and play my songs. And that is a big support from Cece, who has a good heart, but Spotify didn't like it, and they decided to take my album off. And that shouldn't be their decision. And I have a lot of real streams on there because I'm on Spotify playlists all the time. We submit day and night to Spotify playlists, and it's just not fair. It's just not right to completely take it off, where I have to repay it, re-upload it, create more ISRC codes. And it's been off of Spotify since August the 8th, and no one notified me of it. I've found it online, and I should be creating music, not fighting to get my album back on Spotify and digital distribution. I mean, how much revenue have I lost and how many radio stations haven't played me? Because a lot of them want Spotify playlists or links rather.
They do. They do.
Yeah, because it's an easy way to have an ISRC code attached and make sure the artist is creating and accruing revenue.
Right.
So it's just ridiculous. And I'm stuck in this cave and I can't even get out. And it feels like I just keep throwing money in the cave and it just blows out the front. And I can't even barely make anything with streaming, and no one's buying albums. And unless I can show numbers, clubs don't want to book me and give me certain guarantees. So how can I travel? Am I supposed to spend my little bit of whatever on everything? I mean, I don't understand. And it's made me feel like Dr. Dog that I just don't even really give a shit about being an artist sometimes. Like, is it a blessing or is it a curse? And should I just be a school teacher or something right now, or an attorney, or an archaeologist and digging up artifacts or something around the cave? I don't know. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to be a travel agent? I mean, it's like, am I supposed to go do something else in life? And people say, well, things aren't working out. And as you see, things are working out. I'm doing so much, but it's like, when is it ever going to have the big payback, like James Brown said?
Right. It breaks my heart hearing you talk about that. And I could see in your face and in your eyes the emotion that this has created for you. The Spotify taking your LP off, and it just breaks my heart because there's so much in the music industry that's unjust. And indie artist gets it the worst, and I don't understand that. But it's just sad, and believe me, it breaks my heart that you're doing so much for yourself to get your music out there, and you've worked so hard. And especially when your music's been on for 2 years, then they decide to pull you off. I mean, to an artist, that's not a good feeling, and it's heartbreaking, and you don't understand why. But
just because CC created a playlist where he would play my music.
So what does that have to, that's
Is it a
music.
crime to make a playlist of your own music or him doing it? I didn't do it, but CC did it. And I let Spotify know. I said, CC from the bottom of his heart did a playlist. Okay. I didn't want them to create a playlist. I didn't ask for it, but they did that. And I apologize, but I didn't hire a robot company. I don't even have the money to hire a robot company to do it. But how many labels and other artists do that? But why police me?
Right. Well, to me, it shouldn't matter because Spotify's there to what? Play your music. So
yeah, and it's also, if you curate a playlist, you keep the algorithm afloat since so much music gets buried.
Yes. You're 100% right. So I don't understand it either. I really don't, because that's the whole purpose of the streaming platforms, to have your music on. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the whole industry is about numbers. It's about quantity, not quality.
Yeah, well, yeah, and that's sad. That's the sad part too. It's numbers, not quality of the music. But so what? CC quantity. So what? CC put out a music list. So what? Or playlist. You shouldn't be.
With my own Spotify login, because CC helps me submit to Spotify playlists.
That's just injustice.
So you know what I mean? So they know, but I'm like, it didn't come from my IP address, it comes from one IP address. I haven't hired robots and shit. I don't have that kind of money. I mean, what is wrong with this? I mean, labels, I believe, I don't know. I'm not a label head, but sit there and have people press and play all day. And then also, for things that generate on the algorithm, Google searches and stuff, like people pay money for Google search engines for theirs to go up on top. I mean, Have you ever wanted to go on vacation, for instance, and you look up tours or something, and TripAdvisor will come up, and then you click on it one time and then it'll just constantly show up. And then all of a sudden you get emails and stuff. I mean, there's a whole racket to the bracket. You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
But why police indie artists? I mean, come on.
I know. I agree. I don't understand, especially an indie artist that is as good as you are. That doesn't make sense.
I pleaded my case. We'll find out. I mean, I heard from my digital distributor on Friday. They said, We've submitted the information to Spotify, and we're awaiting a response. But in life, whenever there's a response, you always have the right to appeal it.
Yes, you do. You do. You do. And I agree with that. And
plead your case further and see if there's going to be a different solution. And again, being an indie artist and trying to break out of the cave, there's such thing as called a loop and insanity. And that's doing the same thing and repeating it, repetitively and thinking something else is going to come out of it. And I just don't know at this point, like, when will I ever get out of the loop?
I know. And you know what? It would be such a loss to music if you were to stop being an artist and go be a stewardess,
air flight attendant, or I don't even know what. I mean,
no, you can't do that. Okay, you've got too much talent to do that, and you have too much drive, and you'll get out of that cave, and you'll succeed because you've got that goal, and you have that dream, and you've got the drive, and nothing's going to stop you. But with everything said, before we go into your next song, do you have like a personal life? Do you have life that time for you that just say, and I'm just going to do, you said you wanted to start reading books, you got all these books, but do you have any time for yourself in a personal aspect?
Not really. I help my mom when I'm not doing the music business stuff. And I get to see my boyfriend on the weekends.
Well,
and
again,
I take some phone calls with my best friends, Kishaka, Mariana, and Krista. I'm sorry if I forgot to say anybody else's name, but they're my my girl group, and they're in LA. And that's about it, like I'll catch up with them every once in a while and, just check in on people, make sure they're doing good, on our elders, and,
when you're on tour though, you're away from everybody.
Yeah. When I'm on tour. Yeah. When need a booking agent,
I know. Well, at least you said you have some gigs coming up in November, and I know you want to get.
Still got to iron out the brass tacks. I need to have a guarantee. I'm not doing door deals and shit like that anymore.
No. I think you're way past that. So,
Yeah, well, now the entire economy has changed, because of the big inflation word, and just things are different. Since the pandemic, clubs are different. They're owned by different companies. Now it's not like so much privatized. It's like different,
Yes.
And it's just like there's not a lot of money in the circuit for indie artists unless you're signed and you can show that you can bring big numbers. There's not any big dollar bills.
No, because they don't want to take
you got to do what you got to do
Yes.
to play, survive.
And you're doing it. I mean, you're doing, I think, more than the average artist does, to be honest with you. Again, pretty soon, like I said, my hat, I got to hold my hat on top because it's getting ready to pop off because you're just blowing my mind so much that you just do so much. And you take it so intensely inside, and into your heart. And you can just see how things that are unjust are just kind of crush you. And again, I hate to say it, but it makes me sad that the unjust music industry is treating an artist like you that's giving so much of her life. And you have such talent that I don't know what to say, So
yeah. And it's not just the industry that's unjust. It's also people are unjust and narcissistic freaks.
Yes. No, I agree. Society has changed to a point I don't even recognize it, compared to what I grew up in and what I know. It's a different world, it's totally a different world, but we have something to make everybody feel better right now, which is Beck Black singing Who's Gonna Save Rock and Roll. And again, Beck, that's just an incredible track. Incredible track. So it's no secret that, the competition in the music industry can get out cutthroat. Okay. So what's the most backstabbing or sneaky move that you've encountered in your career? Is there that many?
Yeah. Let's put it this way. When you go into the studio, have your roles defined and your percentages of writing, publishing, and the sound recording. Don't assume everybody's going to be on the same page years later, because it will change.
Really? That's sad. That's really sad.
Have everything in writing. Everything.
There you go. Guys, remember this: family, family, friends, friends, business is business. So you've got to keep that in mind.
Family doesn't change, but friends do.
Yes.
Family can change their personality, but it's still your family, but friends cannot be friends at some point. And if you think your friend's your friend now, they might not be your friend in the future. And I can attest to that. Okay.
There you go, guys. That's some good advice. So,
get it in writing.
Get it in writing. And you know what I always say is, unless they're your best friends, like you've got, a couple of your girl club, you don't need to let everybody know your business and your life and everything that's going on.
My girl club, they know what's up. Kashaka is my sister, Krista and Mariana, and they know what's up. But besides that, it's nobody else's business.
There you go. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Keep your friends close to you, and just know your best friends, you can count them on one hand right here.
Yes. Yes. I've got this many. Okay. And that's sad in a way, but you know what? I'm happy because I know I've got their back. They've got my back, and I don't worry about anything with them. So, after all the years, if I end up with, 2 friends, 1 friend, hey, I'm happy, because I know they're good friends. So I'm glad you're blessed with that at all. I am. So,
thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. So do you deal with the temptation to compromise your artistic vision in pursuit of commercial success?
No. I mean, really, what is commercial success? It's just a repetitive ABAB line scheme, nursery rhyme. Basically, that's what is commercially successful at this time. What is considered successful to me is different than commercial success. I don't really care to compromise my authenticity and originality with what I create and compose and what feels right to me. As I said a few moments ago, the songs come through me with the universe. I am just a channel, and I just tunnel the sound from what I hear or what I see for videos. And I'm not compromising or thinking this is going to be a commercial success or this is not going to be commercial success. What is a commercial success?
Sure.
Currently, what's in the top 40, top 100, top 10 is considered commercial success, but to me, I consider it trash.
No, I agree. Do you think by being an empath that helps you with your creativity and that focus and that funnel and that tunnel coming down and just flowing through you? Do you think that helps you?
I don't think so.
No?
I think being empathic makes me more focused on how everyone else is feeling.
Right.
First, and then
You're second.
I'm second, and then having to sort of let this rain upon me. I have to be open to it. And that's why I try my best to have this time just for here, and my energy and my mind to be clear. There's so many things going on. There's so much static, and being an empath, you're focused on how everyone else is feeling and not intuitively how
you're feeling. I would think, just real quick, I think that would, and you prove that it's not, but I would think by being an empath with so much going on, and so many other people's feelings and surroundings that you absorb, that it would be hard to create. But you've just proven that it's the total opposite from everything you do, everything you've accomplished, everything you want to accomplish, the amount of time you put in, the dedication, and then hearing you talk about your music and what you do, you could see that it's like a light that lights up inside you.
I was better at it a few years ago when I lived in the band house with my drummer, Adam Alt. It was easier to write music. I wasn't so focused on administrative tasks that I was more open to creating. And seemingly so in the last few years, it's like the cell phone is the biggest distraction of all.
Yes.
For an empath, as someone who answers calls, talks with people, and people have questions or need advice. Sometimes I have to say, you know, please, like, let me be, kind of thing. Like, I can't right now. I'm having to learn how to, the boundary thing, because the boundary thing I didn't get for so long. And it's so important as an empath. But as soon as I look on social media and I see stuff going on, and there's a lot of things going on in the world right now, you know, of course it hurts. You know what I mean? It's not like I want to go write a song about it. It's like I want to understand about it and see how I can help or do whatever I can. There's so much happening right now in the world, and it's just so distracting. And then you look at social media and you look at, oh, everybody's winning awards and there's the VMAs and, you know, all these things going on. And then I think, like, will I ever make it? Then I think, like, I'm not good enough, and I compare myself to others. And then there's this whole tunnel I go down, and it's hard to dig myself out of it. And then at the end of the day, it's like, now I'm exhausted and I can't listen.
Well, I understand everything you're saying, but to
it's like a writer's block,
right? But to dismiss your talent and ask yourself, "Am I good enough?" I mean, I guess every artist does that, but you know what?
Every fucking day.
Yeah, that's. You know, and I want to tell you, and again, I've been in this business a long time. I've listened to a lot of music, a lot of bands, and one thing the doctor doesn't do is say something that he doesn't have to say, or he thinks he has to say. I say everything from my heart. So when I say this is that your music's incredible. You're incredible. Your voice is incredible. Your drive's incredible. Everything about you is incredible. So don't ever think about, am I good enough? It's just, unfortunately, you're trapped, you know, under a blanket. They put a ceiling over you and said you can only go so high right now. It has nothing to do with your talent. Your talent is above approach. It should be on mainstream. And it's just unfortunate that the people that run the industry don't see that, and they want to keep it, like you said, the top 100, you know. And I know the stations here, it's like, dude, you need to change your playlist. It's like the freaking same guys over and over, same songs every day. Yeah. And it's like, when are you going to put some different music on there? And so don't ever doubt yourself, Beck, because you're incredible. And I know artists do that. And I know in the position you're at right now with everything going on, and then, you know, with Spotify and everything, I can understand where you're saying, hey, I'm done. I don't even want to be doing this anymore, because it's such a cluster, and it's sucking so much out of me. But you do. See, you keep going, and you question yourself, but obviously you wake up tomorrow morning, you're going to keep doing the same thing, and the day after, and the day after, the day after. Why? Because you love it. And that's you. The last
thing I want to do is what I'm supposed to do as an artist, which is super sucky. Do a TikTok video.
No, don't do that.
Go please. Get your numbers up there. You know, I'm a little bit mysterious. I mean, I don't know after this interview how mysterious I'm going to be, but I don't really want to unveil the mystery. Like, here's me playing this song, everybody. Hey, I'm doing a cover today. Hey, here's me doing a mashup. Hey, everybody go crazy.
Well, you know.
I mean, here's me in a little sexy outfit. You know, it's like, yeah. No. Here's me doing the latest, like, TikTok dance, you know.
I know. It's gotten a little bizarre on TikTok. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind watching you on TikTok, but I don't think that's a place where you need to be. So, no, not at all. So we're going to go to Beck Black's next song, which is a phenomenal song, which is Talk to Me.
That's a co-write with Tony Valentino from the Standells and I.
Beck, it's time to actually bring about the dark side of band life. So I want you to open up that dark door for me, and I want you to tell it like it is about the dark side of band life.
Oh, shit.
There you go. She said it right there, guys. If you didn't catch it from that, I don't know what else is going to take it.
That's put me on the spot, dog.
Well, I apologize. But I figured, with all your experience, there's got to be something that you're saying, this is really the darkest side of being in a band. Whether it's not having time, not having relationships, whether it's drugs, whether it's, sex, whatever. I mean, there's things that people get into as musicians, and that the industry can take you down many paths if you let it. So there are dark sides of the industry. And I mean, whether we experience it ourselves or we see people around us experience it. It's something that I think people don't realize because they see movies and they see documentaries and all they're doing is promoting the fun times, the good times, the touring, on stage. They don't really open up the door to saying, listen, this can happen to you. This is the darkest part of being in a band, and it can happen to you. It can. Doesn't mean it's going to, but it can.
The darkest side of a band would be a 3-letter word, which is ego.
There you go. There you go. Because that'll destroy a band quicker than anything.
Yeah.
There you go.
Totally.
See? So I hope you listeners listen to that. It's not the drugs. It's not the drinking. It's not anything else. But it's egos in a band that can destroy and make things very dark for individuals in that band and make it very difficult to continue to be in that band. Or have them in your band. And, I'd ask you, Beck, have you ever had to, remove somebody or kick somebody out of your band? And I imagine I already know the answer to that.
No, I've not kicked anybody out of my band.
No? Never? No. So do you just remove yourself? Or if you have conflicts, do you just remove yourself out of the band or you just deal with them?
I kicked myself out of the band.
Well, I mean,
I kicked myself out. I just said, if anybody else wants to be the lead singer in Beck Black, you can go ahead for it.
I'm done. I quit. You're out, Beck. Get out of here. You're done. You're out the band.
Yeah. You and your trademarks out of here. I mean, I just say ego. You know what I mean? And that's it. And I've never had to kick anybody out of a band. I mean, everything is conversational. Everybody I've ever worked with is super cool as a band member. So I can't say that, it's like everything is just communicative. You know what I mean? And it's just a lot of artists have egos. I used to have one. I don't anymore. I kind of lost that a couple of years ago, but I mean, besides that, everything's pretty kosher with my bandmates, you know what I mean? So,
but you seem like a really chill person though. I mean, you don't seem like somebody, I imagine you can be upset and angry and mad, but you seem in general like a really chill person that's willing to talk and just kind of go with the flow instead of, putting up a dam and stopping the water and saying, wait a minute,
my favorite band member in the world ever is Adam Alt, my drummer. Like, he's a best friend, he's a brother, and I'm so lucky to have Adam to be a part of it. He's also in a band called Street Drum Corps. I've always been over the moon for him as musically. Like, he's just incredible. And I couldn't ever ask for a better drummer. Then Ringo, who played on the, Who's Gonna Say Rock and Roll song. I've been very fortunate there. And and a lot of all my co-writers, we've always had a good time co-writing. So, I think everything's all good there. I just think a lot of it can be just some of the village that you work with sometimes. There's just always ego involved, yes. And I have to manage and navigate through that, and that's sometimes different courses that I have to sail on through, because of course, as being the leader, sometimes, who gets the shit, so, but I just have to deflect it. I pretend like I'm a disco ball, and whatever you project at me, I project it back at you.
That's a good way to look at it.
The best way to deal with ego is to not absorb it, is to reflect it, Yep. Just be humble. Yeah.
Just be humble and be happy that you're playing and you're doing something that you love to do. So, that's all you have to do is just be humble. So I hope you guys are listening to that because, Beck is actually putting out some really good stuff that, again, you wouldn't even know about or think about or hear about. And, again, you can see, Beck, when you talk about your music, excuse me, your face lights up, and you could just see that it just lights up, and
I don't have poker face, just like
Not when it comes to your music. Not when you're talking about your music, you don't. You definitely would lose because you just get that big. You just get a smile on your face. You could just see how happy you are when you talk about music, and that's great. And so can you give any advice about, other than egos, to the beginning artists that have begun the journey, putting their music out there, the do's and the don'ts? And we've talked through this interview about how things are hard to get out of the cave, to go here, to go there, to get your music played, to figure out what you're doing. I mean, you're doing 10 times the amount of things to promote your songs and your talent than most artists out there. And a lot of artists aren't going to put that kind of commitment in, to be honest with you. They're not going to do everything that you do, the administrative part, plus create, plus do movies, plus do videos, plus, send out songs, plus everything else that you do. They're not going to do it. So the ones that are out there that are listening, give them a little bit of advice. I mean, other than, listen, stick to it, work your ass off, and you may end up someplace. But what's the biggest advice that you could give somebody that's just starting out?
Leave your ego at the door. No one wants that shit. You're a joke. You'll be considered a joke if you have ego. People will talk behind your back. Eventually, they'll be kind enough to tell it to your face. That's going to take time. And by then, resentment will have kicked in.
Yes.
And everything will fall apart. So, to avoid that, leave your ego at the door. When you walk through that door, exude confidence. Have that kind of confidence. Like when you are out there, it's not going to break you apart. It's not going to break you down. A lot of artists are very emotional and they want to show their emotion. And that is a feature of ego. So just take it in with stride. Don't let it take you down. Just let that confidence exude. But that ego is, remember, it's back at the door. Because again, you don't want to be considered a joke. And people with egos, like, no matter what, they are a joke to me, So I have to hear stuff all the time from all kinds of different people and artist friends, and just like, okay, here comes this person again, right. But confidence is good. So don't let me steer you wrong in confidence. Tenacity is such an important part of confidence. That is being strong and not letting anything knock you down, because ego will come at you in waves. Don't let it knock you down. Just have your feet strong and stand strong and believe in yourself without having ego, but having confidence, believe in yourself, and be unapologetically you. Be your authentic self, no matter what it is. And if you want to do something a certain way, some people might say, oh, well, you can't be this, and that. Don't believe that. It's not true. People would tell me I can't be a musician and an actress and do country and do rock. They said, pick a lane. Well, you know what? My lane is whatever road I want to travel, how fast or slow I want to do it. And it's do it on your time, not someone else's. And when you're working with others, be kind. Kindness goes a long way, and be open to how fast or slow they need to go in their lane, and don't judge people. Judging people is for jokers. Like, do not judge people. Everyone comes from a different place in life. Everyone has good days. They have bad days. So don't judge. Just know in your own confidence, in your own heart, what you set out to do is your path, and what others set out to do is their path. And sometimes paths, they can collide, they can come together, so they can come back together at the end of the day, so just know that everyone is on their own journey and you are on yours. And be specific about what you want, though. Like, do whatever you want, but be specific. So the universe hears that, you're manifesting that, and say, hey, I am doing this. I am going to perform here. And work towards that goal. and be focused about that goal. And remember, have everything in writing. If you're recording a song or you're working out parts and you're writing with someone, understand what those things are before they come into fruition, so there's no confusion and everything is clear. Also, have agreements for music video edits. I mean, anything that you do, it's always good to have agreements. So everyone's on the same page and it's in writing. It can only be changed with 2 signatures. So just, or 3, how many people are a part of it, but just be clear on what everyone is doing, their roles, because all artists do different things. And sometimes people think, oh, I wrote this, or I did that, or this was a guitar solo. No music writing and publishing, learn about that. Understand what a master sound recording is. It's so important. So many artists don't understand what any of this is. Master sound recording is changed, the ownership, every time it's recorded, but publishing and writing is in perpetuity. So learn those basic terminology within the structure of how music is, because you want to register your music online with a PRO, a performance rights organization, so you can monetize. And so when your music is submitted to radio, there's a way to attract the monies that are accrued through the plays that happen. Know about ISRC codes. I mean, just educate yourself. Don't go in blind. Just leave your ego at the door, but see things for what they are. Don't go in blind. Be smart. And be efficient and be kind.
There you go. It's Music 101 with Professor Beck Black. Okay, that was awesome, Beck.
Rock on.
That was awesome. I mean, I couldn't have asked for a better answer than that. So, quit being other people's puppets, all right? So,
and the next one's called Puppet Show.
That's it. We're going into Beck Black's next song, which is Puppet Show.
Listen to the way you feel. It's not the same.
Beck, any closing comments you would like to make before we end this interview, which has been a phenomenal interview?
Gotta check out Puppet Show, the music video. It's on YouTube. That was such an interesting music video to create with a marionette. You can find that on Beck Black Music for YouTube. So definitely do that. You can go to beckblack.com. You can actually keep in touch with me on beckblack.com. It's BECKBLACK.com. And I'm on Facebook, and my foot is so asleep right now. Hold on a minute. Oh my God. Gotta stand on it. Hold on. Oh my God, I can't even walk. Sitting for so long. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh my goodness. Don't you hate it when your foot falls asleep?
I do. Or you get a cramp in your calf. It kills you.
Ooh-wee. Oh my goodness. Okay.
You good?
Yeah.
All right, listeners, make sure you go check Beck Black out and listen 3 times a day. That's doctor's orders, okay? 3 times a day. Make sure you do that.
Don't create like a playlist loop with it over and over again, because I don't want to get in trouble for it, because I only get in trouble for stupid shit. Believe me, it happens all the time. So just go to beckblack.com. That's BECKBLACK.com. And you can keep in touch. You can write to me. You can say whatever. You can see all the songs and videos that we played today. Definitely check those out. That would mean a lot to me. I'm on Instagram as Beck Black Music. I'm on Twitter as Beck Black Music, I think. And then Facebook, just like look it up. You should be able to find me. It's pretty easy. Just Google Beck Black. And that was said without ego. By the way, I worked hard to brand myself, because Beck Black is a band and it's a brand. Words of advice: trademark your name. I have a trademark classification 41 and 9 for sound recordings and performing and writing. And just be smart, be yourself, figure out what your brand is, figure out what you want to be and who you are. And that possibility is endless. So just be you. That's and it. Love each other. Signing off. Thank you, Dr. Dog, for having me.
You're so welcome. It's been a pleasure.
For the good, the bad, and the ugly.
The good and the bad and the ugly. We love you. We appreciate you. You take care of yourself. Take a little time for yourself, please. The doctor sends lots of love to you. Take care.
Doctor's orders.
That's doctor's orders. Please take care. Stay in touch. We'll talk later. Bye-bye now.
Ciao.
The good, bad, and the ugly with Dr. Dog. On MMIMM, the show where we get real about the ups and downs of band life.
To infinity and tastiness with MM Radio.